The seals have been broken, and the devils are here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Concerto, a Nocturne, our Vampire the Masquerade actual play that we do set in the wonderful, unique universe that is New York City. Let's get into tonight's game of Concerto on Nocturne. Tonight's episode 8? 8. Entitled Tangled Webs Woven.
Hey, Delia, isn't that the guy we need?
Oh, well, yeah, that would be the second Elysium that I've seen him get his fleshy little meat form thrown around. It doesn't get boring or old, but I'm fairly sure
it was my first.
Oh, is it? This is your first first like ever?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably
why I've
you're
always
not
wanted
part-
to go to one.
Yeah.
Yet.
That's fair. Yet. But yeah, we want to talk to him. Well, at least now we know he's here. Maybe dispose for the moment.
As
You,
the oh, go ahead.
One, you can trade me all my Elysiums.
I'll take it.
The lights the house lights have come up, and kind of jaunty ragtime style music starts to play, and it's strange. You feel like you've heard it before. Maybe it's something you'll recognize later. You need to hear a little bit more of it. It's not important anyway, because it seems as though most of the attendees are now mulling about. The mezzanine has a commanding view of the theater before you. And surrounding you in rather spaced boxes, socially distant, spaced boxes, are clusters of other parties that have been attending. Yes?
My understanding is that while this is the world of darkness, it is not the world that is as dark as ours, and so therefore COVID does not exist, so therefore social distancing should not be a term that is commonly understood. So I would like to request that perhaps these boxes in fact be like so fucking close that everyone is on top of each other because the goddamn thing doesn't exist. Can
We could lick someone later if it'll make you feel better.
All right, I'm back in character.
As meatsy propaganda. All right. Moving right along, Footloose and Fancy Free.
Is that what that tune is?
No, it's not that. It's... Oh, no. It's a ragtime interpretation of The Perfect Drug by Nine Inch Nails.
Why would I know this?
Well, see, that's Zed's actual favorite song, but
It was on the radio a bunch. But amongst the mezzanine, you can see that there is a box containing Alice, the current Master Harpy, currently speaking with an individual that you know of. Well, let's see if you know him. Roll politics. Intelligence politics. Anybody who wants to know who she's currently talking
Is
to.
this the same person as last episode?
No.
Okay.
No, she was schmoozing with... Schmoozing. With one of Sigbear's old, not a direct childer, but you definitely know protege. He's talking to somebody else now.
3.
Okay. Anybody else? Goose egg for Luke and goose egg for Charlie. It's okay, you two. One of you came from Pennsylvania, and the other decided to keep his head down forever. So, you know, can't blame either of you for that. Danny and Delia, though, recognize a one of the who got 3, by the way. Danny. Okay, Danny knows that is a clan, a clan relative. Alice is speaking with another Ventru. This individual is a lean 6'2". Formal cut, but naturally kept African American style, but kept short and shaved on the sides, kind of pulled back into a fantastic little, not really like a top knot. There's a bit of a splay to it, not really a bun, but there's a bit of a splay to it. He's dressed in immaculate, like there's a sheen to it almost. It's black, but in the right light it catches. You can see that there is a almost lace-like oil slick effect to the fabric. A tie that is currently undone and hanging loose with like the top 3 buttons open, bearing a little bit of skin. You recognize an individual named Martin Clay. That's about all Delia knows. It's Clay, I think. Martin Clay. Danny knows him as one of the luminaries of the Ventru Legacy Establishment movement. A loose affiliation of young Ventru entrepreneurs. It still spells yuppie if you look at it, the V is a U. That are seeking to make their own claim and their own mark on society out from underneath the shadow. So one might say they are a loose, left-leaning, but a very capitalist left-leaning. So think like a blue dog Democrat.
More like a current mainstream Democrat.
We're not going to get into splitting hairs on real-world politics. We're going to stick to the fanciful vampire politics that are in this setting. He has stocks he has real estate, and he has opinions about the capital gains tax. That's all you need to know. Aside from also being young and wanting respect and power amongst the Camarilla for neonates and those who would not be considered ready for power amongst other kindred. The type of person that feels as though he has a lot of power in the mortal realm, and that should reflect within the kindred society, but that isn't how that rolls out ever. But they have a movement, as seems to be the flavor of the day. Alice is speaking with this individual. They're currently sitting side by side. Alice is leaning in ever so attentively. You're pretty surprised that you can't see her navel with the plunge of this dress that she is currently wearing. It's a sequined affair. Feathers at the shoulders. But the feathers are actually in kind of a hanging cape, so it creates kind of a crest behind her back that hangs just below her shoulder blades.
Darkstalkers.
Yeah, kind of like Morrigan from Darkstalkers in the feathers department.
Do you think maybe she's one of them weirdo smoothies who doesn't have a belly button?
What?
Why wouldn't she have a...
Some people don't.
I don't know. She does bear everything, including her left breast, I think it was, once. So I don't know.
That's her favorite breast.
That's her favorite. I know it was her favorite.
Party
She
titty.
hasn't shown her belly button yet. Unsolved mysteries.
The slit on the side of the dress, it almost creates like a kind of a through line that cuts across her chest as the slit on the right side of her dress nearly comes up to her hip.
So Luke, I will be staring at her intently, lost deeply in thought, wondering A, whether or not she's had any work done, and B, whether or not he could do better.
As you're staring intently, her eyes drift in the direction of your coterie, catches Luke's stare, and just gives just the slightest eye flutter of a wink before going back to her conversation with Martin. And she even, like, cheek sneaks in your direction and crosses the leg over, bearing a little bit more leg.
I think she may have misinterpreted my, oh well, whatever.
What?
You know, if we took out a couple of ribs...
Luke, what are you talking about?
Huh? What?
You...
I'm not imagining the people around us as homunculi. Nope.
Why would she be talking to Martin,
canapes?
though?
There must be canapes somewhere.
What? You know Clay?
Yeah, he's part of the Ventru Legacy Establishment movement.
You say that like it's something we should know about.
I'm with Luke on this one. I don't... What?
Well, it's I guess a small organization. Younger kindred wanting to gain more power, I guess.
So, the exact same thing that happens always.
I guess.
They're probably in a very pleasant mood lately.
I can assume so. As you said that last time, the balconies were separated, right?
Yes, well, you're in boxes, so it's not that the balconies can't be accessed on a walkway. So it's a mezzanine seating, but it's box seating so that there are walls around small clusters of seats, so that groups can sit amongst their friends without having to worry about others impeding upon their enjoyment of the show. that kind of a vibe. They really form no other purpose other than to segregate groups from each other, and they actually do kind of look nice from an architectural standpoint if you look at them, but they're really just there to be pretentious. So you could walk down to the front and walk back and forth across the length of the theater in front of you.
So just a quick new rule for tonight for security purposes. We usually use some version of the buddy system. Tonight, those buddies should be based on who's capable of talking without upsetting people. So I will spend... Charlie, will you be my buddy? And then Danny can be Delia's buddy. I think that sets us up for success.
I appreciate the thought behind that. I'm not... Well, yeah, no, actually. The last...
You and I were both trying to get out of this 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I don't like people thinking I'm incapable of things. But then I also remember the last time I had to do this with someone, and I just walked up to Siegbert and just pissed him off in like 5 seconds. So maybe you're probably right. Buddy system it is.
It's not that I don't think you're capable. It's that I know that you, like me, would rather chew your own arm off than stay here longer than we need to.
It's true. It's true. Though I do really want to talk to Siegbert. Whatever state they're in.
Well, we can see about that probably after the performance, I would guess. But Danny goes over and will loop her arm into Delia's.
Mm-hmm.
We should go say hi. And also, why are you wearing that jacket?
Well, I didn't want to show too much skin.
You have nice skin. Show it off.
It's very... Do you not know how dangerous it is to show your skin?
I do it all the time.
Julia runs a gloved hand down the arm. Just a little bit of spittle. A little. Oil that beautiful skin right on off.
What are you talking about?
What?
Do I know that Delia spits acid?
Make a intelligence occult roll.
Okay.
There's no dice penalties in this edition, so just roll. If you have no points in that, just...
Shit, reroll. Hold on. 3.
Tremere do weird shit with blood, and spitting blood on somebody else to then boil their bodily fluids is in their realm of capabilities.
Danny's arm is slowly going to recede a bit and just be the hand around your elbow.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about, but any amount of skin that's lost, I can replace. So there's no good reason not to look comfortable. Take off your jacket and stay a while.
But we didn't want to stay a while, Luke.
I know, but we have to, and you're the one who made us, so deal with it.
Oh, you're right. Okay, well, let's just make this one of the nights that we don't end up covered in blood. And I know I packed the hoodie for Charlie and all, but, let's just, make this pact so that we don't this time.
Yeah, I'm wearing my good shirt.
I like this dress.
You're all very boldly in white.
It's champagne. The color, not the drink.
Do they still serve those?
I don't know. I can't drink it anyway.
No. 3 Elysiums ago, there were these neat little drinks where you could have the blood and the wine mixed together. Lucas had a little bit of a penny at the bottom, I think. I wonder if that still exists. Who owns that company now? God, I spent a lot of time in Philadelphia. Okay, let's go. Let's go do a thing.
Luke
See, that looks so cute.
very, very quickly bend down, pick up the coat, fold it gently,
You're so
fold
good
it
at folding,
over,
even when it's not
shove it in
flush.
an overly sized pocket.
What kind of pocket?
No. Oh no.
Oh no!
On my vest.
Okay.
My vest has
Alright.
pockets.
It's just
Charlie hasn't said a thing this whole time because she's just on the edge of her seat staring at the stage of the last thing that happened, just like
Charlie's watching.
what just happened?
Charlie's watching stagehands walk across the stage with squeegees across the floor, just as they just push the blood across the stage towards ketchup towards the opposite side.
Does someone want to explain anything to me right now?
oh,
Maybe I
My
spent too
old
much time in
boss is
Pennsylvania.
getting his. My old boss is getting his ass kicked on stage.
Your old wait, isn't that the guy we wanted to talk to?
yeah.
Right? But I mean, he just had ketchup packets like in his pockets and stuff, so like he's probably fine.
I know, it's great, isn't it? It's wonderful.
This
Charlie.
is ridiculous.
Charlie,
What?
more than ever, I need you to understand that the situation we find ourselves in is extremely dangerous. That is all very much actual real blood.
You know, like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where they have that moment of realization and their eyes like snap open and you hear like glass breaking in the background?
No, that's the
Yep.
Nosferatu from earlier.
That's just like what just happened in Charlie's head. It's just like nothing, do.
Oh, there it
She's
is.
just like, what do you?
Okay, now hold it in.
What?
Hold it in.
You can't tell me something like that and tell me to hold it in. You
Hold it
hold it in.
In.
You hold it in.
You.
You tell me to. Don't you tell me to hold it.
You're my social buddy. And Luke will like Luke will gently like try to reach under Charlie's arm
bad.
to like carry her with him. We're going to go find refreshments.
Okay. Is there alcohol? I could use some alcohol, I think.
I'm sure there is.
I thought that was ketchup.
Wow, that was the sound of someone's actual innocent soul shattering again. Oh dear.
It's been a long time since I've heard that sound.
Humanity 8 in a kindred. It's fun. On their way, Danny and Delia, to link up with Alice and Martin. Alice is chatting away and leaning in towards Martin, but Martin isn't responding the same way the previous individual was. The other, Sigbear's protege. No. He's playing the game right back. You're fairly sure he probably had that tie, the matching tie to his suit. Fairly sure that was properly tied and set before he sat down, before he showed up to Elysium. Now it's hanging around his neck like a scarf. He's got his shirt open. He's leaning in. These two look like they are flirting, but there is an aura of combat as well.
Danny, you sure about this?
Oh, I'm positive it'll be fine. Do I think it's a good idea?
There's no better time than now is pretty much one of those situations.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you don't initiate before you get within like 10 feet, I'm gonna Alice will call out to you first.
Delia, she squeezes Danny a little bit. Okay, here's your thing, and goes a little further, and it's just like, Alice, wow, we're right next to each other. Our boxes just like back to back. Wow, hi.
Alice turns. Delia, oh my god, I always wanted my box right next to yours. How are you doing tonight? And she stands up and walks over and does one of those, like, gently cupping the elbow and does, like, kiss on either side of the face. And turns, who is your date tonight?
This is my friend Danny. Also, Delia does like an awkward like hop to show her little heels. Fantastic taste in shoes, courtesy of this one.
You were able to get her to think of fashion.
I wouldn't let her leave without it.
Delia, do not let this one go. Obviously, she has a power over you.
I thought I would introduce. Seems like you would get along. And since she's gonna be around all the time, and you know, when we have that night where we go out, I thought maybe she could come with us.
Oh, yes. I honestly, I have been so busy lately. I completely forgot that we were supposed to do something one night. Oh my god. You really need to send me a text, and then I will put that into my calendar. So pick a day, pick a couple of days, pick like a week maybe, where you could possibly do something, and then we'll put it all together.
An entire week?
Yeah, I plan ahead for a lot of my engagements. Oh, like right now, I love seeing you, but I was in the middle of conversation with Martin.
Oh.
Come here. Martin stands up, walks over, and she hooks her arm underneath his. This is Martin Clay. He just got in from LA, and he is very, very interested in seeing how our little governmental process is currently going. They're interested.
And how are you finding it so far?
Martin has this moment of kind of nonchalant disinterest. Just kind of comes back. It's nice. Not used to such theatrics. You know what I mean? But we're intrigued.
Do.
There's a
with the movement.
Yes. Yeah. We're trying to go global with it. We're trying to make sure that everybody has an opportunity amongst the ladder to success. And the best way to do that is to use what you got. And we happen to have a great deal of resources to put to use. And we want to make sure that it benefits us. So we're joining together and kind of what are they kind of like a union. Make sure that we're not exploited by the entrenched power structures. You understand, right?
Of course, absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of movement in New York, and that's what makes it very special here, I think.
Yeah, out on the coast, we got some. We have a slightly different setup right now, though it's coming to a little bit of a head because our barons being a little tight with the reins, and people who like to toss around certain titles Don't like when somebody in charge starts giving too many orders. So opinions are starting to change. And I thought I would shop around to see if there was anything I could offer as a replacement. We're intrigued. I don't know if we would put on a Broadway play for it, though.
Have you had the pleasure of meeting the producer yet?
I would love to meet the producer. I am here actually tonight to present myself.
Oh, you are officially okay.
Well, we have to do it as soon as First Elysium comes around. I am thankful that Prince here isn't exactly super strict with movements. Seems that so long as you make it known soon enough, it's all right.
I think he's very open to hearing, actually, and eager to hear what people have to say rather than finding out later. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Alice? He's usually on the pulse of things.
Oh, he always is. It's hard to keep up with him sometimes, and I'm supposed to be the one in charge of all that. And she leans into Danny a little bit. Oh, but yes, I do think that we should all have a little bit of time together. Martin sadly is only here for a short time before he heads out. We're doing the we're following the tradition mainly so that we can get a short audience. But that works out for all of us, doesn't it? So just a social night for you cats, or is this are you looking to get some work done?
Oh, I mean, I'm okay with multitasking. Never a bad time, right?
Sometimes it's the best time. You get to enjoy your work while you do it.
So, tell me, what brings you to tonight's performance? She kind of sticks a finger into one of her looped blonde curls and just starts kind of twiddling.
Well, Julia kind of like locks eyes with Danny for a moment and then back to Alice and is kind of like, well, on the note of movements, it's interesting that maybe that you mentioned that. There seems to be a lot of them floating around. Have you heard anything about something Reformed Church? And she looks over to Danny.
I will say, as a player, I don't have the notes.
Alluding to if she knew anything about the Reformed Church of Cain making moves in the city.
Okay. Sorry, I'm drawing multiple blanks.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I have notes in front of me, so that's cheating. I'm a big old fat cheater. Yeah, that you know, when we were out the other night, the Reformed Church of Cain, something like nonsense like that.
Oh, well, Cainites will do as Cainites will do, I guess.
Put me to sleep.
Well, ghost stories will do that sometimes. They spook others, though, massively. I don't know. I don't buy into all that myself. I haven't met anybody like that. Although we are the walking undead of the night. So, I don't know. Maybe it all seems so... it's too much reading. It's too much reading. I can't. I don't.
It's fine. Nothing agrees with itself anyway. It's a terrible read. But you haven't heard anything moving about?
Well, I've been doing my best to get information on all those little introverts out there, but it is easier to get information on those of us who wants to make themselves known. But I haven't heard anything about any churches getting together.
Oh, well,
I might have just turned it all off anyway if somebody mentioned it.
Well, if it's not of any interest to you, then, Danny, we could mention it later. I just figured, Danny was the one who told me a bunch of stuff about it that they were able to find out. But I guess that's probably why you didn't know about it. You weren't interested. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Danny, you said you had information?
Danny's amazing at this.
Do I?
You can do some research into that kind of stuff if you wish.
Also, the base information of the dude that we were chasing with the flowers, the bishop, because we met up after the church.
Also, I don't think Delia was softballing that to Danny to get Danny to divulge anything, but more to play up Danny's capabilities as an information gatherer.
Sorry, that went over my head, so I thought I had to spill something. I was like, what do I know?
No. It's cool.
Okay. Yeah, there's always information out there, and if you know where to look, you can get it.
She steps forward away from Martin, who has a bit of a okay look to his face as soon as she does, and kind of slides up next to Danny. I know how I get information, and I know how the rest of my little birdies get information, but I'm really curious is to expand that net and find new ways, because if I don't have more information than the prince, I'm not doing a very good job as Master Harpy, and he's very good at it, and he doesn't use me at all. I feel like he put me in this position just to make me aggravated. So, how do you go about it?
Well, there's always the internet. You can pretty much find anything on the internet.
Well, we did have that recent declaration by the Camarilla of the Old World that all usage of the internet is a breach of the Masquerade.
I cleaned that up.
You cleaned that up? I am very intrigued now.
You should tell her about that weird, satellite thing you could do. That was
what? Tracking people's locations through satellite positioning.
Look at the brains on this one.
Well, if you have any references, Danny, I would love to find out more about what it is that you can do. Because finding somebody who is versed in that kind of field is very difficult.
Well, I do know your bodyguard for the evening.
Oh, and she looks over her shoulder at Eric Stratham.
Danny peers a little over Alice's shoulder and just kind of shoots a wave to him.
Dude is ice. Does not break contact. He has that look of I'm not looking at anything because I'm looking at everything kind of look to his face.
Oh, the Luke stare.
It's just
oh, Eric.
Just absorbing literally everything. And you can't really tell off the top of your head if he even acknowledges or caught your specific gesture. Alice kind of leans in the way and just is... Oh, well, honestly, he's a little too severe for my taste. He comes off like...
That's why I was the face.
Oh, so you don't just know him, you've worked together?
Yes.
Oh, well, he comes highly recommended from Sigbear's old company, Steinhertz. You worked there too?
Technically still do, if they ever decide to reopen New York.
Oh, yes, that little business in that damned thrice cursed building. They just have such subterranean arson trouble, don't they?
They do.
Subterranean arson trouble.
Totally not thinking about how I was the one who set the bomb off.
Weren't you, we were actually going to have a talk with your boss today. Is he say your boss? That's weird. I don't
know.
I don't think Sigbear can call anybody there. I don't think Sigbear can say he's anybody's boss right now, seeing as he's calling Victoria mommy right now.
How tall is she? I'm sorry.
I would like to point out as well, I created Victoria well before Resident Evil 8 came out.
No fetishes on stream.
That's it, we all gotta leave.
This is as she was presented in the first run of the game. I'll point that out. She's a tall Lasombra who is a fan of big hats and white dresses, and I swear to God that's how she presented herself in the goddamn first season.
How nice of Victoria
3 years ago.
To lend her toy out for the festivities. Is she here?
If she were to crush me, I could reassemble.
How
No
nice of
fetishes on
Victoria.
stream.
What, you made a
One more
Legos?
time.
Jeez.
We could do this. Vampire Mommy's very distracted. How nice of Victoria to lend him out her toy for the night. Is she here watching, or?
Oh, I think she has a backstage seat.
That makes sense.
She doesn't let that pet off its leash very often. Although the way he was up there, I don't think he was off a leash at all. That was a bold choice. That was a very, very bold choice of Curtis. I'm sorry. The Prince Baron.
Grand High Poop.
Don't dignify him by saying the whole thing. I think he has royalties attached to it. He gets $1 every time somebody says the whole thing.
Honestly, I feel like we should take a shot if we get the thing right. Yeah, he didn't run this by you? This weird... there's hot blood down there, and not just the stage.
That implies that Curtis does anything by asking anyone else first.
No, I mean like bragging, right?
Oh, no. This definitely reeks of Curtis surprise. So, I am going to go make some more rounds. So, and she goes into, like, it's below her breast, underneath and under the cut, reaches in daintily with 2 fingers and pulls out a business card.
I had my phone there earlier.
Passes the card over, holding it daintily between the index and middle finger, and holds it out to Danny.
I'm gonna reach out and take it, but I'm going to look her in the eye and give her a wink in the process before I put it down at the front of my own dress.
You 2 kids have fun. Martin turns to Martin Clay. Would you like to meet the primogenitor of Brooklyn? And he just says, I don't know. Do we have anything in common? You both love money. Lead the way. And the two of them start walking off towards a
Danny
box.
internally coughs in Resources 5.
As the two of them start walking down the front area of the mezzanine balcony, heading towards the opposites area. Stop saying area. The opposite side of the balcony, where you're fairly sure in the distance you can see Antonio Schiavone.
Ooh, we should go the other direction.
Okay. Danny turns around, and as she turns around, she goes, itchy, and just takes the card out and, like...
At least we don't have
Flips
glands
it over.
for sweat, so it's probably not moist.
That's why it's scratchier.
It's got a faint...
And she starts plugging.
It has a faint whiff of rose water to it.
Did you just sniff that?
Smells like roses. And Danny just continues plugging the phone number into her phone and then putting the phone back.
The business card, by the way, it was a beautiful matte square of just off-white with gold.
Stop it. I've seen that fucking movie.
No
It's a
kinks on
very good
stream.
movie. But this ends later with me and a chainsaw, and it's no good.
There's pale pink rose print just behind the text. It's the clan Toreador. It's an obvious reference to the clan Toreador sigil.
Oh, okay. We're going to, I guess, walk back towards where we were before. Has Eric moved in any way, shape, or form?
He's statuesque, except for his eyes. His eyes tracking things in and around Alice. Excuse me.
Quick question, by the way. I haven't been interacting because Charlie and I went off to go find refreshments.
Yeah.
How'd that go? Did we come back?
I was about to get to that.
Okay.
It's my job as an ST. I don't want to break the social tension of the previous scene too much. So as Luke and Charlie go to get refreshments, while Danny and Delia have gone off to speak with Alice, walking down the stairs, you end up in the VIP section again, the first floor hallway. That plush red carpeting that kind of bounces back and almost has a slight, like, sound to it as you step into it. You can see that beyond the stairs is now no longer roped off. If anything, the front door is now roped off. But past the stairs, there seems to be a small bar area. That Danny and Charlie, that Luke and Charlie can see.
All right. This is really more your area than mine. So I'm just going to follow around and look stern.
What, getting a drink?
Really all of this.
I think you're capable of getting a drink.
Yeah, in a bar full of regular people.
That'll be fine. Come on. She just starts kind of like pulling Luke along, just hooking her arm into his and just pulling him along with like, she's like a little like high-low like dress on with like flowy fabric on it, so it just like flows behind her. She's like trying to like yank him through the
Luke has that reluctant Frankenstein kind of step at first before eventually just kind of being like, all right, my knees work too, and then just keeping up with Charlie. The two of you enter into this bar area. Now, it's interesting because it seems to have been adapted for your use. When I say your, I mean the current clientele. There is a bar that it's kind of a set into a wall style bar. There are two bartenders, both wearing rather just these kinds of getups annoy you. They are white shirts, very high collared, red bow tie, red suspenders, with a red pillbox hat.
Oh, they're cigarette girls.
They look
I
like
remember.
well, it's both a there's a guy and a girl there, and both of them are tending bar in a very strange way. This is going to be a difficult roll. So Luke can make an intelligence. Both of you can make intelligence occult rolls at a -4 to your dice pools.
We better find out what they're doing that has a -4 attached.
It's a chance die.
Can we spend some bonus die?
Please do.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I need to spend 2 just to not be in a chance roll.
Okay, Charlie.
I can spend 1 to get out of a chance roll.
Okay, so how about this? I'll spend 3. You spend 2. That's 5. That's a lot. But it gives us a much better chance.
I'm fine with that. Everybody else is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
So I'll drop you down
Lore.
to 8.
Wanna know?
All right, roll it. Ooh. Okay. At first, you're very confused by the brown Alka-Seltzer that's being dropped into champagne.
Ew.
It fizzes for a moment, and then it leaks into the rest of the drink in wispy clouds of red, and it turns the champagne into almost a rosé. That's what it looks like from a distance. There's also a sign next to it, and it says, Champagne Rosé 45. And contracts have been used. And on tap 200.
I'm confused by the numbers. No, I'm not. Okay.
Oh. Well. Charlie just thinks about like how empty her bag is. There's like just random shit in there, but there's no like money.
Do either of you do either of you have dots and resources?
I do. Yeah.
Nope. I got nothing.
Charlie's just thinking about $45 for a single flute of champagne.
That hurts my soul. You know what I'm getting for $45?
All right.
The value of $1 is just
What was the one for 200?
on tap.
It just says on tap.
2 on tap.
Oh, you walk up to the. What's your dots and resources?
2.
2. Okay,
I don't expect to
I'll
buy much else for a while, but
yeah. Okay, I'll let that float. They then hand you the cigarette lad, we'll call him, grabs a small clipboard with a pencil in it and a small slip of paper. We're talking like a slip of paper that is far smaller than the clipboard itself, and the clipboard was one of those like check clipboards already. It's literally has it's got boxes on it, each one with a strange, not strange, you figure it out pretty quick. At the top there's M, F, NB, what the hell would be no preference. Beneath that it says 32, 27, 19, and then there's a final one at the very end that says surcharge 100 with a 16 next to it. Beneath that are boxes describing hair color: brunette, blonde, redhead. And then below that it says there's an extra box with some lines next to it that just say special requests.
Gluten-free.
He as he hands it over to you, he says, we will do our best to accommodate your requests to the best of our abilities.
Charlie, need anything weird?
What is that? Can Charlie, like, physically see the paper? And
well, Luke's holding it.
Like, flash it. Yeah, like...
Do you remember how, you offered to get, like, fast food, and I couldn't?
Yeah, because it needs to be, like, willing, but I'm pretty sure these are.
I don't know that.
Well...
Also, that's really expensive, Luke.
Make a quick,
You can get anything for your apartment.
Make
for
a
this
quick
amount of
wits
money.
awareness test.
Oh, no.
Both of us, or...
Yeah, whoever looked at the sheet can do it.
Okay.
I have awareness now. Aha.
That's such a happy
It's not
sound.
like it helps me with this cursed dice. It's fine.
1.
Freaking out about money.
Okay, Luke notices at the very bottom there is a little bit of it's gray text on white paper, whereas the rest is black. It does say all refreshments are locally sourced and sought out by our specialists. They are sought to with the finest medical care, and then
okay. So
it's
they're
massaged
using responsible
for
farming
20 days.
techniques. They're using responsible farming techniques. This is all sustainable. Okay.
So this is our version of farm to table.
Yes, exactly that.
Weird.
So and then so I'll write in there, and like it gives it's I'm like writing very tiny in the other box must have tattoo on the first one.
Okay. He hands the second one over since you're ordering two.
Okay, so for you, do you need anything weird?
Not really.
'Kay.
Cute guy helps, but other than
Okay.
that,
M in the other box writes prefer smoke show.
Zed's
You're not allowed to
vocabulary
write on paper.
expanding over here.
You're not allowed to write on anything anymore.
He looks at both of them and just has kind of like a... We'll do our best. Turns, walks over. He says, please, if you'll follow me, I'll escort you to the lounge. One of our private boxes.
Thank you very much. Pack of Lucky Strikes, too. The way you're dressed, just bringing back memories.
We don't... You do know New York has no smoking indoors laws, right?
Pack of gum.
We didn't exactly prepare for that kind of clientele.
Whatever. I'll chew a coaster. Let's go.
The two of you are escorted to a small booth. Curtains are drawn back. Has Luke seen the inside of a strip club?
Yeah, but yes, but he wouldn't have really he would have if he. Let me rephrase. He probably has been in one. Probably not for its strip clubness, but for other reasons.
Well, around the, it looks like this area of this lounge has been kind of converted to be almost like private dance rooms, the very small curtained off areas. And your...
Oh, like a karaoke club.
Those have like walled off rooms. These are actually curtained off booths that look like the tables have been taken out of. He escorts you over, opens up the curtain for you. It's a nice, like, round bench style seating. But like I said, as if the table had been removed from the center. He says, if you wait here, it'll be a few moments. And I will see to your accommodations.
Charlie is immediately looking around the room, trying to see if there's anyone that she recognizes.
There's nobody else. Nobody else that you can see.
Okay.
Everyone's either in rooms already or still up in the mezzanine. Like, it's very... Like, you can see feet, like the shadows of feet underneath some of the curtains, but that's about it.
Okay, so this is pretty good, right? We can't cause any trouble. We can't fuck anything up.
I
This is
thought
good.
that last time when we were flower picking that we wouldn't screw anything up, but we did, so...
Charlie gets a text as she sits
no.
down in the booth.
Okay. Just... what? Just looks at her phone.
It's from Mom.
Oh, shit. Oh, this is weird timing. And I hate it.
Is that Delia?
No. It's, like,
Do they
actual
need...
Mom.
What?
My actual mom.
You have a mom?
Didn't you at one point? Like, yes.
Actually, to be honest, I mean, I know I must have had one, but I never actually knew her. But you have a mom still?
Yeah, she's old, but yeah.
How new are you?
New enough, but not too new. I still have some shine on me, you know, but not that much. Anyway, I'm just gonna go read the text.
Text says, I think Scampers got out again. Could you call the neighbors?
Oh, God.
I lost my phone book.
I just wrote in my notes, text from Scampers. That's wrong.
Barf, 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 barf.
Bark, 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 bark.
I'm changing your name in my phone to Scampers.
Shit. Well,
I also would like to point out she's holding a cell phone that can send a text, and she can't find her phone book
phone book.
to call the neighbors.
Yep.
So, what's the news from home?
Okay, so, question, does Scampers exist?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure Mom's not having a moment.
It's mom's. Well, this is kind of Scampers the Sixth.
Ah! Okay. You're like, okay. Yeah, I can at least let the neighbors know to keep an eye out. With, like, just a smiley face and a little, like, dog emoji. Just send it. But I don't want to call the neighbors. Can I just text the neighbors?
The only phone number you have for your neighbors is their house phone.
Oh, shit.
And the closest neighbor is like 6 miles away.
I was gonna say they're way away. Okay, okay.
Charlie, is everything all right?
I have to call my mom's neighbor, but it's weird doing it here. I might be able to wait until we get back out from here.
I mean, if your mother asked, it's probably important, but I don't know how to gauge that on the scale of you're a vampire with a mom.
Whether Mom's right or not tends to be hit or miss. Okay. Alright, think when we get out of here, because I need to get into a mindset to, like, read, I'll call in the lobby-ish area instead. And not back here.
You get a text back from Mom that says, "Thanks, sweetie. You're always so reliable. Have fun at your parties. Please meet a nice boy." Remember to do your hair the way I told you.
You got the flower clips in and everything.
Just as you send that, the curtain opens and two not very dressed individuals are just escorted into your booth. Matching the check marks that you put matching the check marks that you put down on your clipboards. There's a pair of handsome young men. One of them with you don't understand why someone would do this, but they have the Pepsi logo on their right shoulder and the Coke logo on their left. You don't know why.
Okay.
It just seems to be a thing that they've decided to, define themselves by. And he just kind of sits down next to Luke. The other one, a beach tanned looking in shape bit of a himbo looking guy, sits down next to Charlie. Both of them obviously under the effects of some kind of suggestion. The cigarette individual says, we just have one rule. Please do not be excessive. Any accidents will be charged directly to you, and marks against you will be held in court.
Entirely understood. Thank you very much. And I will actually, like Luke will tip him as well, like a $50 bill, say.
Oh. Thank you. He
Thank you.
puts it into his vest. That little tiny vest pocket that's on the front of vests that nobody ever knows what it's for. Just kind of...
Normally they're sewn shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you have to take a knife to like
Yeah.
open the thing up to make it useful.
Yeah, he must have done that because he was able to just slide it into that tight ass fucking little...
That monkey has a
The monkey-
pocket on his costume.
Oh, Desmond. Desmond the monkey.
Folds the bill into a little football like you're in high school again. And
Yeah.
just...
So, Charlie, does this work for you?
If Charlie is capable of blushing, she's pink. If not, you'd imagine she would be.
You would have to spend, just to give you a point, you would have to have the blush of life is literally the name of the rule. You would make a rouse check to show any type of autonomic functions. So heavy blood flow, actual blood pressure, really is what to call it. Breathing, blinking on a regular basis, things living people do and take for granted that kindred don't have to do anymore. You kind of have to invest in a moment to do that, to pass amongst mortals.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's very unsettling for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. What do I want to do? I want to do it for flavor because it's fun. Because this is a very Charlie thing to do, where
no.
she would, like, blush and just be like, hi, this...
Is she like awkward middle school first date next to this guy right now?
This has 7 minutes in heaven written all over it.
If he's like super attractive, if like he's super attractive, that's like her automatic response sometimes. There are other responses she has, but right now, because she's so off from everything that just happened in the last like 3 minutes.
A slightly less fit Chris Evans.
Oh shit.
And subtly tanned.
Yeah, yep, that's the reaction.
You're fucked.
I got a 7 on my rouse check, and she is pink.
You roused to blush.
Yep.
Because he was hot.
Yep.
I love you.
Upon seeing Charlie turn a color, okay, all right, good. I'm gonna take the Pepsi challenge now.
Whatever. It's like, Pepsi's not okay. He's dead.
I might put extra XP into the pot for that one at the end of the game. Okay. So Luke begins to feed. There's no real resistance on a physical level, and like there's definitely a calm in these two individuals. They just kind of allow. And the only reaction Luke gets when he bites down is a quick and then he can proceed to feed as much as he wishes. How much are you looking to drain?
I think I just need 2. Yeah, 2.
Mind you, you cannot go below 1 unless you kill somebody.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he's got 5.
Yes.
Okay, so just 2
Okay.
for me.
He seems kind of when Luke is done, he seems kind of lightheaded, but not.
I actually. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
As I'm feeding, I will intentionally feed first from the Coke side and then from the Pepsi side.
You're gonna put 2 bites on him. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How's Wholesome going? What's Charlie doing?
Dara's just thinking about how she wishes one of them was Dr. Pepper and the other one was like or Mountain Dew. Don't give me Dew. That's bad.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know what you've taken for flaws and drawbacks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
if you're going to attempt to feed, I need you to make a willpower test.
Cool. So once you get 1 full hunger, you can't go below that, right? Is that what you mean?
Not a full
For
hunger.
feeding?
Yeah, 1 slash.
Okay, because that's literally all I've got.
Is 1 slash.
Yeah.
You're technically full. Like, unless you kill this guy, you cannot go below that.
Yeah, she would not do that.
So Charlie could then pretend and just neck on him if she really wanted to make it look like she was, like, not wasting Luke's money.
Yeah, basically that's what she's gonna do, because she's like, Luke moved way too quick, and I didn't want to be spending any money on me, let alone, I was just gonna be like, oh, maybe I could swing the little ship. Nope, $200. Goodbye. I'll make out with this guy's neck for a while, though.
We can get you.
Please, hold on. I need to do this, because I'm never going to be able to do this ever again. If I ever do, I'm going to look forward to it. But what I need right now, I need Luke to make a wits awareness test. And I need Charlie to make a
Dear Lord.
manipulation performance test.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. Do that. Oh no.
This is
I
the
keep
thing.
making you make me roll weird shit for this game, and you're welcome.
I'm not upset by it. The more use out of the entire character sheet we can have, the better. The more I am happy.
Hold on, I have to reroll too.
Oh Jesus. Oh, and bonus dice given to Charlie. If you has been added to the pot just for this. 2. What did Charlie get?
3.
Charlie is able to make it look convincing enough. So did you roll the... Okay, so you don't have to roll the willpower test since you're not feeding. Because they're obviously under a type of domination, from what you can see. And that would go against your credo there. As Charlie's enjoying herself, though, the phone landed like just under her left ass cheek,
Oh no.
Oh.
and it vibrates very suddenly.
Oh god. It's just and just like half in the guy's lap now. Just trying to
Just half.
get situated. She's like, I could have just kept going, but I stopped myself. She just digs the phone out,
It's mom
pulls
again.
away, and like looks at it again. Mom, this is so weird. I met a nice boy.
The message says, don't worry. The nice officer you sent is helping me look. You're the best.
The nice officer I sent. I didn't send anybody.
Charlie, what's wrong?
Is that the sound of ghoulies screaming at 5 million miles an hour? Wow.
Just Charlie's sitting there just staring at the phone. And kind of just doesn't even look at Luke like, I have to make a call, and just gets up and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I should probably...
Are you gumming him? I don't...
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Not so much as a call me.
I love our coterie. Why, Lord? We're so bad.
Leaving the two dominated and very much tranced blood dolls in the booth, Luke chases after Charlie. At this point,
still
Delia
licking the
and
blood
Danny...
from the corner of my lips, like,
At this point, Delia and Danny are... Well, the lights are starting to flash for the end of intermission. And Delia and Danny have not seen Luke and Charlie yet.
Do you know where they went?
No. Wait. I think they were getting drinks. But they have the buddy system. Luke can't piss off
This is
everyone.
true, but they've been taking a while. While we're looking around for them, Danny's also going to look around to see if she notices anybody that they could potentially talk to regarding the blood tracking situation. Because Eric is working and Siegber is indisposed.
In the moment, no. You might have to wait until the end of the show when the true Elysium meeting begins.
Okay.
This is a lot of pageantry that's been tacked on to Elysium Night. So the idea that there's going to be the after party where the proper Elysium happens is going to be that.
Okay. I guess we just take our seats and wait. I'm sure they're fine.
I'll message
Luke can handle pretty much anything, right?
Except for social situations. And she's just gonna start texting the group chat.
That's why Charlie's there. Charlie seems pretty good with the conversation.
This is true. You're just into the group chat. Heading back to our seats. The show's about to start. Don't miss it.
Luke
Then-
gets this just as Charlie's about to get outside. Now, would Charlie jump a rope to get outside to make a phone call? Or would she stand at the end of the hallway?
It's that balance between, like, I have to call my, as long as there wasn't too, like, it was quiet enough at, like, end of hallway that she would go there.
The end of the hallway is far enough away from the coat check, because this is lavish VIP entrance for an old theater. So, yeah, it's got some distance to it. If you... the door itself has roped off. Like, the door has two of those pillars next to it where the velvet rope has been hung across, blocking off the door, and you can see outside there was that rough and tumble bodyguard that was out front. That seems to be where you can get to, and he might cause an issue if you go outside, but you feel confident that you have enough space and quiet to make your phone call. The phone rings.
I'm so scared.
Once. Twice. Luke gets his text as he is able to catch up to Charlie. A text from Delia. And the phone picks up. Hello?
Mom?
Charlie, is that you?
Yes, it is. Hi, Mom. Are you okay? I got your message.
You sound so far away.
Oh,
They
sorry,
really
I'm-
have to fix these lines. You're both on cell phones.
yeah, they. Yeah, they do, but you know, we gotta deal with what we have, right, Mom?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, thank you for calling the police to send somebody over. The man's very, very nice.
Oh, you know, just curious. Like, what is this one of the local police officers, or is this, you know, can you describe him at all?
He looks like a man in an officer's uniform. I didn't ask. He has a very nice badge. I think he might be local. Yeah, he's local. They don't have one of the. He doesn't have a hat.
Charlie, what's going on?
Okay. Just real quick, she like covers the phone and just goes like, my mom thanked me for an officer going to the house that I never asked for. I don't know what this cop is doing there.
Ask her to hand the phone to the officer.
I was getting there. And she's just like, can you do me a favor, Mom, and let me talk to the officer really quick just so I can kind of explain, like, scampers and everything?
Oh, sure. I already showed him your picture. I think he's single. As she passes the phone over to. As you hear, here, take the phone here.
Charlie,
On
put
the
it
other end.
speaker.
Hello.
Okay. It's just real quick, she like switches over to speaker mode on her phone and goes like, hi, you know, are you the officer that's at my mom's house right now?
Yeah, I'm Officer Johnson. I got the call to come over and take a look for a lost dog. Yeah, that was the call. Excuse me, ma'am, I'm gonna go check the outside. You don't mind if I walk with the phone, right? No, it's fine. All right, I'll be right back. Walks outside, and as soon as you hear the door close, everything is going to be fine. You need to think on your sins. And then the phone hangs up.
Where does your mom live?
Still in Pennsylvania.
Do you know anyone local that could go check?
Nearest neighbor's like 6 miles down.
Do you still have friends there?
Would she still be connected to like the little pockets of kindred that there were there when she went to like the Elysiums?
Maybe she might be able to call. She might be able to send a text to one. There was a couple of gangrel that like to run around the woods there that were really up with Charlie on the whole fuck the oil companies, you know, vibe. But not many people, and that's when. Please return to your seats. The show is about to resume. Please return to your seats. The show is about to resume. No
Charlie,
refreshments are allowed in the auditorium.
Charlie, whatever
Thank
you want to
you.
do, I will support you.
I don't know what I could do. I'm
If
here
we
in New
need
York.
to leave right now and drive to Pennsylvania, then we will. If you can wait, that'd be good, so we can get the others. But if you can't, I'll go steal a car right now.
Charlie gets a text
I'm gonna-
from an unknown number.
instantly just opens it,
Just says,
hand shaking across the screen.
just says, stay put, play your part. Danny also receives a text from an unlisted number that says, think on your sins. But it's a multimedia message. And it's the picture of a very nice apartment door in New York City
Upper East Side?
with a very familiar room number and a very familiar wallpaper surrounding that door. You're fairly sure you know a lovely couple that lives there.
Yeah.
And that is where we are going to take our break.
See, this is why I'm an orphan.
For protection.
Can't hurt me. No one loves me.
Oh no, we're in danger. Oh no.
So, we are now going to take a 5 to 10 minute break. This allows the players and myself to get up, walk around. The play is about to resume.
I have to be traumatized.
Charlie is standing with Luke near the front of the building. Danny and Delia sit in their box seats in the mezzanine. As the play continues on, starting with a jazz tap rendition of Take the Power Back by Rage Against the Machine.
Okay, I'm not sure that he actually gets to use that song, being that he is the man.
Luke and Charlie can hear it from the outside. Holy shit. As we're getting back to it, just a quick note. Brad, $50 donation. Thank you so much. We have to apparently make apple pies for cake tomorrow.
Okay.
It'll be done.
I will get
Okay.
the apples.
Back to the game.
I'm not going to say no. Sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted.
Well, keep yourself unmuted, because what are Danny and Delia doing right now in the box seats as Danny has received this text?
Do you think he has formal dance training?
Danny's eyes are wide on her phone. She's not looking at Delia or the stage, and she's going to text back what part. Meanwhile, she's going to get into the security system she had installed at the apartment to see who's there.
The lights are off. The bedroom, a couple sleeps. The baby's room, a child sleeps. In the living room, a singular reading lamp is lit. And sitting in an armchair is an individual dressed in black, smoking a cigarette.
Does he look familiar?
Not that you can tell. Very shrouded.
Does he look like he's checking his phone, like he's the same person that texted?
Nope. Just sitting there, smoking a cigarette. And, it looks like he has one of those, like, breathe-out filters that masks the smell. And you know the couple don't have ashtrays. So that means he must have brought his own.
Wow, what a dick. Danny says this out loud.
Oh, what? Why? I mean, I know it's a little ostentatious, but like the tap thing is super cool, and I thought that the like musical thing was a really cool symbolic bridging of the new and the old, which really is a problem in our society, honestly.
Not the show.
So what did you text?
What part am I playing?
The message comes back with a... You're going to have to write it down. It's a bracket. A left bracket. So the prongs are facing right. A lowercase y. A dash. 2 4s. A 0. And an N. Capital N.
Upper. Okay. End bracket?
No.
Okay. Still open.
So that says...
Got it.
It says that. Nope, it's in chat now. It says that and then says, you're just the beginning.
Of what? I respond, I'm keeping him talking as I'm running a trace.
Ah, you're running a trace.
Danny pulls out the a small
Laptop.
laptop out of her bag. Mid Elysium, don't care.
There are a few people, like there's somebody behind you that like taps on the wall that divides the boxes behind you.
I just turned on my brightness.
There's a bit of a as they lean back and go back to watching the show, which has transitioned now to the post prisoner sequence, and Curtis is currently making eggies in a basket for his co-star while wearing a pink apron. While singing an up-tempo rock rendition of the theme song from Facts of Life. Danny needs to make an intelligence, an intelligence technology test, a wits technology test, I should say, wits technology.
Hacking or no?
Yes, hacking.
Thanks.
Oh, this is contested, so I have to roll. I'm gonna roll for this. Mm. By one. You succeed by one.
Yes.
So you get a partial trace. The beginning. It says that name again. That phrase again, and it says the beginning of my list. Danny is well enough versed that she would recognize a form of leet speak when she sees it.
A form.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to write things out in leet speak. Like, that left bracket could be a C. Double fours usually represent an M because it's 2 peaks. Zero's an O. So respelling it out, I'll even punch it into chat.
Simon.
Yeah, I won't have to say it now. I want to type it out now.
Because Simon says. I wish it were the Ice King. Sorry. Just
So,
chat.
the partial trace. I'll give you the partial trace, and then I got to go back to Luke and Charlie. The partial trace leads you to see that you're dealing with very much a professional, because you get a scattered trace response. There are zombie devices that are being used to route through. And as it seems right now, you can't brute force break through it. But you're fairly sure that there's 5 places in New York City that are mobile, that are get in the way of you finding out exactly where this signal is being sourced from.
Five.
5.
I need 5 things taken out. How do I take things out from remotely? How do I... Can I get a bomb? Danny's like...
As Danny turns to Delia to say, "Can I get a bomb?" we go back to Luke and Charlie in the hallway. The music and the performance is currently being piped through, so you're currently hearing that up-tempo rock rendition of The Facts of Life.
So am I stealing you pardon me. So am I stealing you a car?
We're never gonna get there in time. If something happens,
Well,
hold on. I still have, I think, a couple of friends left over there. Hold on. And she tries to text the gangrel that are over there to be like, I'm sorry, I know it's been a long time, but I need a favor. Can you please check on my mom?
You get a text message back immediately after getting a message failed to send. And the text is, "Simon says no cheating."
What's it say?
And she just shows it, and like she shows the screen to Luke, and just like her mouth becomes like a really thin painted line, and she just goes, "Well, Charlie says suck a dick," and she just starts typing like
Is that a real response, or is that from your cell company?
It's from whoever is whoever's like got my mom. I don't know. They're bad. That's all I got. And she's just texting back like, "What do you want?"
Simply says, it comes back, "Simon says, play your part. Stay put, play your part."
What? Just in all caps, she just sends like a "how, why," and it's just a series of angry emojis.
You get emojis back.
Oh fuck!
Red curtains, music note, celebration horn, Enjoy the show.
Luke,
Yeah.
I think whoever this is, maybe they can see us right now?
I pull out Delia's coat and I like put it above us to cover our mouths.
Plaid poncho.
That'll work.
Okay, we can speak freely here. What do you want to do?
Well, I can't get any help because apparently they're in my phone and they blocked a text I sent to try to get help for my mom. And we can't get there.
What did they send you? What was the last thing they sent?
I just told me to play my part, and then I think it's just telling me to enjoy the show. I don't know how I'm supposed to enjoy anything.
Do you think that there's any chance that they're trying to do something to the prince?
I don't know. I just figured out that the play's using real blood. I have no idea.
Oh, emotion. Fuck. I hug Charlie, like,
Just
awkwardly, but like attempting to provide a reasonable facsimile of affection.
she just buries into like his vest and like she's just kind of like shaking a little bit and just pulls the sides of
Trying
his
to, like-
vest like closer, like to kind of like frame off her face.
I'm like
And,
trying
like,
to
hide.
adjust so that she doesn't spike herself.
Got kid problems.
I hope I'm not crying into one of your weird flesh pockets. I'm sorry.
You're not. I don't actually have those.
Okay, good.
Okay.
It's just kind of just gets that out, and then flower falls off my thing.
However you need to do this, we can do this.
Her cheeks are
That's
a little
fine.
streaked with, tinged with red.
Okay. For now, I can't do anything, and I hate it. But I can't do anything, and we should just go back to the other two and let them know what's going on, I guess. I
Should
don't
we?
know.
I'm worried. Shouldn't we? Isn't there a vampire cop? Don't these people have a sheriff?
Yeah, but here, it's not gonna help my mom there.
Well, I mean, okay, but like you're a member of the Camarilla court or whatever.
I don't know,
Charlie has information on the Camarilla that Luke wouldn't understand. There's this whole... The extension of the Masquerade goes a little bit further than just keep your secret. There's specific techniques. One of which is not keeping in touch with people that know you. So saying to the sheriff, they got my mom, would make Charlie more of a target than actually get her any help.
that Charlie just go, I can't talk to them because then it's not just going to be my mom, then it's going to be me.
What? Why? You can talk to people. You're good at talking to people.
No, it's the fact that I'm still in touch with my mom. I'm not supposed to be because I look the same as I did when I was in my 20s.
Well, I mean, it's weird, but that's kind of stupid. That's a dumb
that's-
law.
M's the rules. I don't know.
Okay, so stealing a car it is. I mean, do you actually think we should go back and just sit down and wait?
Right now, at the moment, I think we have to play by the rules.
Okay.
And I don't want to, but I have to.
All right. Okay. Keep the coat and stay by me, and let's just go back to our seats then. Okay.
Okay.
So, just as Danny and
Link's arm.
Delia, just as Danny has asked for a bomb, Luke and Charlie make it back to the box to hear, "Can I get a bomb?" As well as a shh from behind you.
Simon says, "Shut the fuck up." Danny turns to look at them.
You get a look from a rather well-dressed, but not doing them any favors, Nosferatu. They look like a funerary director, but with like a veiled hat. So like if church lady and funeral director were mashed together into one person, that's what this...
Oh,
And also Nosferatu.
The universe has blessed them.
They look very like, "Ugh," as soon as you say that and turn back.
Do they say anything further though, or do they?
No,
actually
they just kind of
shut
give
the
like
fuck
a
up? Okay.
look.
Shitty looks I'm fine with.
Yeah, they're
All right.
being shitty. It's not like they paid for the fucking tickets. It was VIP Elysium tickets. You just got in because you're kindred. It's not your fault they're invested in the show and you're not.
Okay, so what's going on?
Yeah, I would love to know why do you need a bomb? She like leans into Danny and whispers the word bomb.
I will put the stage whisper tag on the rest of this so you guys don't have to actually whisper, and it's assumed you're all trying to keep your voices low.
sounds good to me.
Yay.
I received a text message. I got a partial trace of this Simon.
What? Who cares?
But there's 5 things in the way that are stopping me from seeing where the signal is coming from, and I need to know who the fuck is sending this text message.
You got one too?
What? Why are the text messages a problem?
I'm going to grab Charlie real quick.
Whoa, wait, hang on. Do you
Let
do
Danny
you
finish.
also have a mom?
Let Danny finish
No.
their line.
Mom died a while ago. It's fine. I grab Charlie. Drag her away real quick.
What happened to you? Does he have
Blood
someone
family?
of yours too? Yeah.
No? Okay. Yeah, same. Alright, we have to figure out this bullshit.
Did they say something weird to you about like your sins or whatever and to play your part and all this other shit?
Exactly. Where is your family located?
Pennsylvania. My mom is
They're
there.
in Pennsylvania and New York City? Okay. I'm going back over to Delia. As much as I really want to be here, I really need to leave.
What's going on? Is anyone gonna tell me what's going on?
Well, no, we can't leave. We can't. Not right now.
Why not? I know they're in the city.
I got play your part, and in emojis, it's basically saying just stay in Elysium and just do this for now, and I don't know what else to do, and yeah, we might be able to save yours or whatever, but if we just play our roles, whatever they are, we're getting...
Smoking near a child.
I scoot next to Delia. Okay, so they both have like real human people that they care about that are both being threatened by someone who's texting them, claiming their name is Simon, telling them to do stuff.
My concern as to why no one ever ghouls anyone they love is very... That aside...
I don't...
So-
I just don't have anyone to love. That's my method. It works pretty well.
My God, Luke. And she just throws an arm around his back. Jesus. You guys... get you a dog.
I'm fine. I have a thriving small business. Look, we should. Do I need to steal a car?
Okay, so from what I understand, you're both getting suspect texts from a really unknown number, and they both are holding your families that you should definitely not have it or a breach of the masquerade, kind of like hostage, and for the idea that they want you to stay here. Now, we had no reason to leave to begin with, so why tell you the hostage part to begin with unless there's something else they want you to be scared, right?
Well, that's working. It's just
Definitely
Charlie's
working,
just...
but if it makes you feel better, they don't know I'm me.
Your family or the person...
The family.
You said they sent emojis as a response?
I didn't get
Yeah.
emojis.
I did, because I sent them, I think, and there were a lot of angry ones. But they sent curtains and a music note and like a little party horn, and then told me to enjoy the show, and I guess it just means act like nothing's wrong.
Then why text us to begin with?
To prove a point, I guess. I don't know.
But it makes no sense in any way, shape, or form unless the person doing it has something to do with this Elysium.
Well,
The
they're
sin
also
part.
in my phone.
Why say the very specific ritualistic thing to both of you at the same time? It has a certain methodology to it, right?
Yes.
Obviously there is a massive, like, ego in play with this. So the concerning bit is either maybe the people, that are tracking the Order of St. Leopold, or maybe, a kindred problem, because there's a lot of disagreements in the community. Either way, we are definitively probably in danger here. Luke, did you really get all the exits down? Like, can you remember all of them?
All the exits? I'm pretty sure I know where they all are at this point. Think on your sins.
That's specific.
Well, that could be the Sabbat coming back.
They do have a church motif, but churches can be anything, right?
That could be, what are they calling themselves these days? We used to just call them snakes.
Oh, set, right?
Well, but they got a whole different thing now.
The ministry.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a church. Any of those have any issues with the prince or us or?
While this is going on, Charlie's gonna text her mom
Okay.
and ask her to take a picture of the officer because she's potentially interested because he's single.
Good.
You get a picture back. And it is a pretty well dressed, like standard local cop kind of look, but they're not in like the I'm half-assing it t-shirt with the police vest thing. It's an actual uniform. But make a wits awareness test, please.
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna burn a willpower to reroll 3. Cause goddammit. I need this. 2.
He looks standard, but as you're looking him over, he's kind of facing to the right, looking at a phone of his own. Charlie notices that there's a flash of silver on his service pistol. And local cops are known for having their own personal choice in sidearm. Usually they have what they're issued, but then there are some that decide, I'm gonna be Wyatt fucking Earp, so I'm gonna have a revolver. This guy has it looks like a nickel-plated M1911A1. And there's a cross on the grip. Weird looking cross. Like, it looks like a crucifix, but it's kind of strange.
What is that? And she notices that. She's gonna lean over to get Luke's attention. Be like, Luke, you're really good with like symbols and stuff, right? You've been able to like remember a couple. Do you know what that is? And she like zooms in on the picture where the cross is on the pistol and just goes like, do you recognize this?
So it looks like an iron cross, but it has a whole bunch of like extra symbols within it. And there is what looks like a dome? Crown? Looks like an egg with a crown around the bottom. Or at least there's 3 of them. There's like... It almost looks like an egg with 3 crowns. And tassels coming off of it.
What would I roll to recognize this?
That's going to be intelligence... That's going to be intelligence occult, because as much as people might like to think that Christian symbolism is not anything but, it is just another form of it. So, roll it.
I'm gonna borrow a couple of bonus dice.
How many?
2.
The 2 works for me.
2 successes.
Oh my god.
Oh, you've seen that cross before. You've seen pictures of it. The nice man that took you in, that you worked for after those street fights for money. He had paintings of people, paintings of himself in medieval armor, fighting torch-bearing warriors wearing those crosses. That's inquisitorial imagery. It's specifically known as the St. Leopold's Cross.
Fuck.
What?
Ooh. We got hunters.
At my
Church
mom's?
hunters.
Oh,
Leopold?
Yeah.
fuck.
That makes sense. That's a contingent that was in Steinhardt's. That was...
They must have found out about Charlie's family.
And as the climax of the play continues, where the one place where they seem to be like lacking is pyrotechnics on the special effects budget. There's a lot of it's almost like Curtis puts on an orange and yellow ghillie suit and just runs around really fast so it drags behind him as V is on fire. As he As
love
he
that
is
image.
singing the Ramones, It's the End of the World.
Mother.
Delia, do you have a way to get in contact with like the Scourge or the sheriff or someone?
Yeah, but first of all, there's a bunch of very not us beneath us, which is very unusual.
Right, we need to let someone know that this whole place is in danger.
Yeah, or maybe that is part of the danger too. She's pulling out her phone and starts pulling out the Scourge's. Well, the one that she spoke to. I don't know if they. It's fine. Orloff in her phone. Orloff. Blah, blah. Thank you.
Orlok.
I've lost my thought.
You were messaging something to them.
I know, and I forgot what it was.
Think about it, because we can go back to it.
Yeah.
By the way, the weird eggy thing I was describing, that was a it's known as the papal tiara. It's literally what the Pope wears. It's called the papal tiara.
So, texting the Scourge asking if they're witnessing the show right now. Oh god, which one do I get?
And Charlie's just holding Danny's hand and like squeezing it. This like solidarity thing.
Is like moving your hand up to her elbow so she can continue working on her computer. She's trying her damnedest to track what's happening and try to find out more.
I'll allow you to make another intelligence tech test. This time it's at a -4. Hacking is allowed.
Hey, Delia.
Yes.
For drastic measures.
I really didn't want to light anything on fire today, Luke.
We don't actually have to.
What's your thought?
We just make them think something's on fire.
That also makes a beautiful funnel.
Huh?
If we don't know what the actual danger is, if we just have everybody panic thinking there's a fire, then they all funnel out the doors. In one tidy little position. You know exactly where they're leaving.
Danny.
Yeah.
Danny's test reveals that one of the zombie devices is actually on top of your location. It's the only one not moving. And it's in the theater with you. A zombie device in this case, meaning a drone, a computer that has been taken over by an outside source and used for its own purposes.
Is there a way that I'd be able to take the computer back remotely?
You're not sure if it's computer or not.
I don't know what I'm looking for, guys, but something is here.
It's... Well, let me give you some more information. I wasn't done yet. You're fairly sure it's a cell phone. And from what you can tell, it's Android. Looks like it's hooked up to... Looks like it's hooked up to AT&T. Why would somebody have a Android and then hook it up to AT&T? That'd be dumb, but...
They use the same repeater towers as Verizon.
They, and with a little bit more time on hacking, you could probably find out I'll let you do another hacking roll for this one. You could probably find out some of the apps that are on that phone.
Delia, if I go pull a fire alarm, everyone will start running outside. If someone's got like a bomb or something, it's going to do less damage out there than it will in here with all the doors closed. Plus, whoever this is wants us to stay in here, so doing anything to not stay in here seems like the better play.
Or they're specifically telling us so that we're scared, so we make choices based off of the fear. We need more information. And Danny
Sure.
can get that for us.
That's what I'm trying to get. If you guys would please shut up for a minute. Danny's going to make her other test. What is it, still the same -4, or is it higher?
No, this one's easier because you're trying to infiltrate a separate device, whereas before you were trying to infiltrate a much grander network. This one is a direct. You're able to find out they're on Bluetooth, so you can literally connect directly via the Bluetooth signal using your computer. So it is a wits tech hacking test.
Let me mute this real quick.
Why would you mute that glorious sound?
We heard that on our mics.
Yeah. Yeah, I could hear it anyway. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was good. That was awesome.
3? Your hand's off screen. I can't.
5.
5. Jesus. Okay.
It was a lot of dice.
You have an exact
Danny's
track.
job, guys.
You have an app listing of the apps that are on this phone. The app is, well, there's a couple of pay site apps, you know, PayPal, Venmo, that kind of stuff.
Thanks.
There's the standard pre-installed apps, but then there's a bunch of random apps that you're just very confused as to what they are. There's a bunch of there's 4 different apps, all with the name Impact in them. And, but different names and numbers. There's a name and then Impact and then a number. And then there's, 3 other apps, all with Fate at the front, and then some other...
Waifus?
And then something at the end of it. There's also... You have found they used Tinder. And you found their profile. They are a 26-year-old independent man who has taken the red pill.
He's gone his own way.
Yeah. In the app it says, I will check my waifu before I wreck my lifeu.
His name isn't Kyler, is it?
No, no fatties is also what it says at the end. The picture of the individual is definitely somebody who should not be chucking around words like that. And wearing a fedora. The title, the Tinder profile is, Discord for life. And you notice he's wearing a My Little Pony shirt. with that character on it. So now you have a profile, an image, and you know exactly which phone is currently being messed with. I was trying to think of somebody who would unironically go to a musical, a V for Vendetta, and have those kinds of apps on their phone.
You guys need to take someone down for me. Or at least steal his cell phone.
You know who we need to find?
Danny pulls up the picture on her computer, and since it's touchscreen, just makes it bigger of the profile photo.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Enhance.
I make it bigger. And make it bigger. It can only get so big. It's from Tinder.
I was just...
Do you know
Never mind.
where they are?
Here.
And you think this
Can you
might be
send me-
related to the people threatening your families?
Well, at least the phone's being messed with. It's a device that's stopping me from running a full trace on the person responsible.
Okay, so
Can you send me that photo?
Yeah.
Sure. I sent the photo to literally everyone in our group chat, including Sloan and Liz, who are probably just really confused as to why they got a My Little Pony fedora wearing douchebag in their text messages.
By the way, you have access to his inbox,
Oh!
meaning you could leave a message in his Tinder inbox.
Oh! Perfect. Oh. Hold on. Danny takes a really cute selfie.
Is this really the time?
I'll find him. In a VIP box, going to see V for Vendetta musical. Super interested. Rainbow Dash is my favorite, and sends the selfie to him.
I love you so much.
You guys are gonna fight about your waifus now.
I was always a Fluttershy guy.
Everybody who's currently watching the show can make a wits awareness test at a -3.
Oh.
I got a 10 on a chance die.
Also,
Holy shit.
Oh.
texted the Scourge earlier.
What did you text to the Scourge specifically?
Are you here watching the show?
Oh, you got no response.
Okay.
Did you get anything on your...
No.
Okay. Luke, rolling a singular success in this situation, notices a fedora amongst the crowd looking back and forth with a phone out. Luke caught the square of light and now sees this exact individual that you thought you were going to see just looking
there.
about.
I'm gonna go get him. Be right back.
I just need the phone.
I don't.
That's not stopping Luke.
Nope.
Danny gets a
Damn it.
response back that says, I'm normally not into lesbians, but I can make a exception.
I don't just only like women, is what I type in response. Look up. And I'm just gonna go over off the balcony and just lean on the railing and look down at him.
He looks up, sees you, and you're fairly sure that this guy probably works at a fast food place, and really leans into his work because it's the only way that there could be that much active pizza face going on, and he's doing nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
He has a shine
a little
almost.
foundation will do wonders. Danny's just in her head going, I just need his phone. I just need his phone. I can make him shut up later. Just take his phone.
He messages back, lobby? Question mark.
Knowing Luke is going down to meet him, Danny's going to respond, "Meet me by the stairs, less than 3," and then turns and gags.
You can actually hear, "Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me." And occasionally they're like, "Dude, what the fuck?" As he bounds his way down the line. In the on the stage, the child has been shot. Noticing that the child is actually spurting a great amount of blood from their chest, as you recognize someone who Luke has scooped.
Oh my god!
As she gives a great big, like, overacting Wednesday Addams spiraling bleeding death onto the stage.
Delia just slowly writes back into the text message, "Never mind, you're doing great!" And then eyeballs.
As a horde of protesters rush across the street, across the stage at the assembled officers with their pistols drawn. As the wonderful anthem of Psychosocial Slipknot is played.
Is it the Justin Bieber mashup?
No.
Aw.
What? No, I don't want to know. Don't
Well,
ruin
that's going
things
in
I
chat
love.
later.
A giant screen is rolling down as Luke is running to the lobby in this, as Discord for Life is making his way to meet up with Danny, aka Rainbow Dash 420, threw something together, I assume.
Yeah, it works for me.
The the screen flashes for a couple of seconds as the music is faded out, and the curtain gets drawn. The screen's in front of it, and Barlow is walking out. Curtis walks out on stage going, because there is applause. Everyone's enjoying it, as schlocky as it is, bowing in front of everybody. And then there's static. And Curtis looks confused as he looks up. And it says, the static crunches across the giant screen. And then it goes black with a single flashing cursor. And typed out in rapid succession, you see, "Think on your sins." And a YouTube URL is posted with a little lock next to it. Curtis he does that, like, head into the curtains yelling backstage kind of a thing. You can't really hear, because those, as much as people think that you should be able to hear everything out in the audience, those curtains are really heavy for a reason, so that you can't hear shit, or at least it muffles it. So you can't really hear what's being shouted by Curtis. But the screen scrolls back up. I assume...
Danny, are you seeing this?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get to that URL?
Danny is taking down the URL.
You have it, and you can go to it if you wish.
I'm gonna go to it.
Did you see that Barlow was also out there?
Yeah, but his ass is to the audience right now because he's shouting behind the curtains.
Okay, I just want to see how he was reacting to.
Poorly, it looks. He looks
Okay.
agitated. The URL comes up, and it is an unlisted video. Does Danny have autoplay on?
No. I know better.
That's fair.
You doing this on speaker and a headphone? What are you doing?
She's got one of her Bluetooth headphones in.
Like an earbud in. Okay.
Yeah.
Pops the earbud in.
Just so that in case there's anything, it's not broadcasting to the other people around us.
The video starts to play. It says, think of your sins. These are the first 10. 5 and 5. And then it plays pictures. It's a picture of Charlie at a protest. Picture of Charlie's mom at a local Rotary Club meeting. Picture of Martin Clay. And some, after that, some person that you don't recognize. It looks like a somebody jogging, and a young lady just kind of minding her own business, jogging. You can't really tell exactly where it is. It's not Central Park, at least, you know that. Sunny day kind of a shot. You think you might see water in the background, like it's on a hill overlooking a bay, maybe. Picture of Danny. Old picture from a job she used to work. That one time she got Employee of the Month at that tech company. And then a picture of a lovely couple holding a young child and a Christmas card. Two more individuals get shown. People you don't four more sets of individuals get shown. You don't recognize them, though. And it says, so long as the sinners speak with me to repent, the tide can be stemmed. And the video ends. There's a lot of stuff Danny can do with this video, by the way.
I was just about to ask.
You can download it, you could run filters on it, analysis, that kind of stuff. Take you a little bit of time. But everybody who had received a text so far, Danny and Charlie, both get texts that say 1 hour. You have time to answer. Either my assets or ashes. Luke sees this guy enter into the lobby, completely out of breath. Those ramps are at an incline, you gotta understand. The aisles are on a steep incline, you gotta understand. And this dude was trucking. He's looking around. He starts walking towards the stairs. Luke has just come through the door from the VIP side and is right next to those stairs. Did I lose Luke?
No, I'm still here. I'm trying to decide exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh, there you go. Your screen froze for a little bit, that's all.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. You don't control it.
I don't know. Maybe I do.
My
maybe
bad.
It's just to spite you. So I run up to the guy and I grab him by his shirt and I go, sleep.
As you grab him, there's a moment of right before he just and falls into Luke's arms. Luke needs a second though, because all of his weight just drops into Luke's arms, and he's definitely the only thing he's flirting with lately is 350, like 400 maybe.
Eat
Sure.
a vegetable.
So, I grab him and I'm like, should I give this guy a free procedure? Whatever. All right. And I will gently place him down, like in the corner on the stairway.
Okay. He kind of now looks like he's just kind of like slumped in the corner. Like he went to go have a break from the play and just kind of fell asleep on the stairs.
All right. I'm looking for his phone.
It's in his front pocket. Easy to find.
Okay. I also grab his wallet,
Okay.
driver's license.
Behind the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Hey,
Sure.
I have like 1,000 of those upstairs.
I have a magic card in my wallet, okay? I
We're all
speak from
nerds.
experience.
Mine's an Alphonse Elric card.
By the way, it is it is a dark magician girl that he has in his wallet.
Oh, never mind.
So I take out my cell phone. I take a photo of his photo ID. I put it back in his wallet. I double check his wallet to see if he's got any, like, welcome to the Society of Leopold business cards or anything.
By the way, his name was Chester.
Sure.
Good.
His friends call him Chet.
Yeah.
Oh, light him on fire.
Thanks, I hate it.
Chester Burns.
I rescind my no fire rule.
Chester Burns. He
Yes.
will soon.
So Luke needs to do an investigation test. Wits investigation, please.
I need to buy more of that. Do you guys mind if I borrow a couple of bonus
Do it!
dice?
You have 13.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use 2. I need to get more skills. Not too bad. 3.
3. All right. There doesn't seem to be anything church-oriented or hunter-related. He seems more like in his wallet, on his person. Like there's nothing really identifying other than the t-shirt he's wearing right now is a you're fairly sure it's another My Little Pony, but it's like it looks like it's you've never seen this one before. It might be a custom that he had printed.
Oh, it's his Pony OC.
Yeah, it's wearing a trilby.
What's his cutie mark?
It is literally the Akira pill.
Okay.
Who let him in here? Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, I don't bother taking a photo of that. Okay, so I put his wallet back. I grab his phone and I'm just running back up.
All right. He's gonna take a nap there for a while now. He's bumped up on 3 cc's of Thorazine. He's taking a nap right now. There's always a way to quote Ghostbusters. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Danny can run some tech. This is another wits.
On the phone?
Yeah. Well, no, this is for the video.
Oh, okay.
Wits tech. No hacking. This is an analysis kind of thing, so you're not like breaking into anything.
Okay. Any negatives?
2.
Okay.
And
That's
Luke will
still 6
return with the
dice.
phone just as Danny finishes this. Oh no.
Never using my other dice ever again.
4.
Close.
All right.
4.
You run some software you've picked up. You find that the final of the 4 individuals listed, 2 of them are listed as deceased back in like the 70s. One of them from the 70s, one of them from the 90s. And the other 2 look like they live in... One lives in North Carolina, near Raleigh, and the other lives in Dallas.
This is nationwide.
Well,
It's not just Pennsylvania, New York.
No.
Martin's from California.
it makes sense. Think about the scale of Leopold with the pharmaceuticals. We know that they're getting funding internationally. What's interesting is
I
why do they care about Masquerade breaches law unless they're working with maybe one of our own kind who maybe... Well, they'd have to, because didn't Fox say that they needed one of us to be able to track the blood?
This is true.
Who's old
Like-
school enough to give a fuck about that
And be able to find out.
and be skilled enough to execute it?
Luke returns with the phone.
Hey, here's the guy's phone. And I will also send a text of the photo ID to the group text. I also took a snapshot of his photo of his, of his driver's license. That's not our guy, though. I don't believe for a moment that he knows what he's doing.
That's why I said I only needed the phone. Danny's going to... Is it password protected?
Well, yeah, but that's not going to stop Danny. She can tether.
No. She's gonna tether.
So much hacking.
Immediately pull
right
out
now.
a micro USB.
So much hacking right now. This is a difficulty 2 wits technology test.
Hacking?
Yeah. Very much so.
Alright. 7 days.
Listen, it's Goblinization Day. I had to get some kind of fucking cyber combat in. Five.
Yeah.
Oh, you break in easy. You find out the 4-digit pin he had was 1337.
God.
No.
Just kill me again.
No. Nope. I quit. This is the last episode. I'm not even in charge of the show, and I'm just gonna end it.
It's a taste of your own damn medicine.
True. All right. You know what? Actually, that's totally fair, and I'll sit back and shut up. Also, change your cat.
Oh.
Yay! Elysium kitty.
Wow.
So, Danny is in like Flint, into this phone, snooping about. You find out that this is definitely one of the zombie devices, and you're able to cut it off. The one thing that really stands out is that you find the Trojan program. It's hidden in a gacha game called Why Fury.
Please continue. I'll hold this in until after when I can yell at you in the kitchen.
You've been able to eliminate one barrier from finding the location. But you receive a text message. That's right. You received your text message saying that you had 1 hour to answer. There was an unlock emoji with it, implying you're released from your location. Curtis gives a bit of a bow on stage. Says, sorry about that. It must have been something from some other show. It might have triggered when they did the finals. It's all fine. It's great. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. The VIPs in the mezzanine, be sure to hang around. The festivities will begin. For the rest of you in the cheap seats, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we appreciate your patronage. Stay in school! And then he just kind of gives like a double guns to the audience and fades back behind the curtain. The house lights come on. People start filtering out. You notice the Clay stands up and marches out. Very quickly. On his phone.
Assets.
No, he can be an ally. How far away is he?
Martin? He has to walk past you to get out. So he's standing up and he's about to walk past you guys.
Danny stands up and stands in his way.
Just as you stand there, he stops for a second, almost bumping into you. And he says, nice meeting you, but I've got more important shit to handle right now than talking to whoever the fuck you are. So I gotta go.
Simon says, listen to me.
Is that fucking you? Because if it's fucking you, I'm going to tear your...
They have mine as well. And hers.
Charlie gets up at that point and goes like, her picture's in the video. So is mine. So is yours.
I don't know if it was some kind of double bluff or something. I don't... What the fuck is going on?
I have no idea. There are 5 devices stopping me from finding the person responsible. I got 1. 4 more down. I have an hour to figure this out.
Okay. Okay. Fine. You want to stop this? You say you can get to the guy who is doing this?
Yeah.
What do you need me to do?
Help get these things out of my way. And I'm going to pull up the 4 other pings I have.
All right. I can get around pretty quick. And it looks like he is containing himself excessively right now. He has a bit of the... Looks like he has a bit of the curse that Charlie might have, too. You message me with where I need to go. I'm going to get around the city. Okay?
Danny holds out our phone for his number.
He punches it in.
I show him on the phone that I have from Chet. I found a program in one of the applications. It looks like all it is a device, a laptop, a phone. Hopefully I'll have more information before you get there.
Okay. Can I shatter the fucking thing, whatever it is?
Do I think that would work?
You're fairly sure, yeah. If the device is inoperable, it's not creating a jump point.
Perfect. Break it as much as you'd like.
Gladly.
I'll take care of security footage if you get caught. Just let me know.
Thanks. Gets up, walks out, storms out the VIP exit, heads out onto the street.
I'm a big fan of your work. If you need any... never mind.
I have his number now. You can text him after.
What do we think the assets are that they want? They're blackmailing you all,
Us?
correct? For what?
Us?
Compliance, or to get closer to the prince, or...
But why is first? I so far have no connection. I haven't even met the guy.
Maybe they have imperfect information. They stumbled across your, entanglements, but they don't know exactly who you are in relation to other vampires, maybe.
Well, right now we have to figure out what connects all of us. I'm assuming that's the best way we could do this.
Delia gets a
Charlie
text.
just slumps
Ooh.
in the chair next to Delia.
Oh, maybe she responded.
It's not her.
Oh.
You notice that it is an extremely long... Somehow he figured out how to change his nickname in your phone. It is his full title.
She goes to throw the... No!
It says dressing room, your friends now.
Oh, we're gonna have to walk and talk. We are being summoned.
I didn't feel a tug on my... Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I get it.
By the way...
Principal's office, now!
Sorry. Old wad joke.
Oh, shit.
Sure. Fine. Great.
Listen, we didn't want to tell anybody before because we were afraid of exposing what you guys had entangled yourselves in. At this point, you're exposed, so play nice and maybe we can get help.
I turn to Charlie. Technically you're blood bonded to him, right? So
Yeah.
maybe he wouldn't want to kill you immediately.
I hope not. I mean,
Okay.
he seemed really off by all this, too. If something happens to my mom, it's gonna be my fault.
No, it's not. No. It's not going to be your fault. It's going to be the fault of whatever motherfucker does the thing. And whoever it is, if they do something that monumentally fucking stupid, we will hunt them down and kill them and kill their children and their children's children. Or maybe just them and call it a day. But we will harm them deeply.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Charlie looks at Delia. Her eyes are like all welled up, big amber eyes, and just goes, "Do you agree with that, or do you think it's my fault?"
I agree that I will definitely help you take part in any vengeance that soothes your soul, but at the end of the day, by staying close to the people you love, you are endangering them, and you made that choice for them, without them knowing what they're being involved in. You need to make some choices going forward after this, without a doubt. And we'll help you make them if you need, but it is not an easy, simple matter.
I need Charlie to roll willpower at -3.
No!
Oh boy. Oh dear. That's current willpower, right?
No, no. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. I need you to roll
Oh no, he's happy. Look at him.
the empty dice, the empty boxes of your humanity track.
Okay. Uh-oh. Alright. It's... 1?
Instead of 2 stains, you take 1 stain as you have put a touchstone at risk.
Fuck. Okay. Wait.
Scampers. No.
Scampers. Wait a minute, I thought we had changed her touchstones.
Oh, I thought one of them was that.
Well, one of it was... There was protesters and the place.
Ah,
It's
right,
really
the
big.
place. You know what? I'll go with it.
Bomb was too far. That's why we were like,
Right.
You underestimated your own power.
Yeah, I underestimated my own power. I'll have, well, in the age of technology, you can get in touch with your touchstones a lot easier. And also, it's not too far away that Charlie couldn't go there. We'll also say that Mom used to be a bit of a rabble-rouser. And,
neat.
after the accident, she kind of went a little Greenpeace protesty against certain companies, and that's what inspired Charlie to do it as well. Even more.
Right.
Long line of firebrands.
Okay.
Oh. Nobody else can see, but I can see the
I can
kit.
see it. Mm.
Yeah,
I
stream
see it.
can't see it, but I'm being I'm being invaded.
What a stain is that you have marked one of your empty boxes with an X,
okay.
with just a slash.
Okay.
I'm not going to look up the exact rules for doing it right now. I'm fairly sure that's how it's done. If it is not the way that it is done, I will research it, double check, and we will do that moving forward. But for now, for the sake of gameplay motion, we're going to do it that way.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, but...
Charlie is upsetty spaghetti right now.
Danny wants to find a bomb.
So you're walking and talking as you make your way towards
Yes.
the backstage area.
Walking and lamenting.
The Kine have been ushered out. The kindred now walk amongst the first, the general admission area seats. Not general admission, the first floor seats. The stage has been opened again, and tables have been set out. As people walk about, you notice the cigarette lobby people with their pillbox hats walking about the stage, taking orders here and there. Now they're walking about with trays with the champagne rosé on them. You don't have much time to really observe. Delia notices the pennies at the bottom of those glasses.
She has like that lingering nerd look while you're walking past a comic store, but you're trying not to look at the front window, but still have to go somewhere, and you can't go in, but... Oh.
As soon as you get to anywhere on stage, a rough and tumble looking individual starts leading you towards the back. She's in a fine suit, nothing great, probably off the rack, but still formal. It's difficult to hide the Olympic weightlifter build that she has beneath it.
Those are just beach muscles. I could make those.
I said Olympic weightlifter. I did not say Gold's Gym here, all right? She ushers you to the back, nodding, seeing that you are who you are. She escorts you to a dressing room with a big fucking star on it.
Oh, God, is it made from construction paper?
It's got glitter on it.
Oh,
Oh dear Lord.
And in macaroni letters, it says Curtis.
macaroni letters.
I love him so much.
I have to write this stupid shit down. I love it.
This is the best prince ever. A prince for New York. Jesus Christ.
She opens the door, extends an arm to usher you in. Inside is Curtis, who is currently wiping himself down. There was a lot of blood. He's currently wearing a pair of just gray sweatpants. He's not wearing a shirt. He's in okay shape.
Even with all that chicken.
Kind of built like a refrigerator, but okay shape. He turns around, holding a towel in his other hand. He says, "Good, hi, hope you enjoyed the show. It was an amazing night. Oh, wow, so great to get to catch up on shit. Okay, what the fuck is going on?"
You should
No
be familiar
idea.
with blackmail when you see it.
I'm very familiar with blackmail. I just want to know why it's on the fucking internet the way it is. It's on YouTube.
It looks like it's remnants from Steinhurt's with Siegbert, and we came to get answers from him, but you were playing with him at the time, so we didn't get to ask the questions, and we were too late to have the questions. But Danny over here, and she like shimmies over and like, Danny here has an idea of where to find the people, the hunters, who are currently threatening everybody.
Oh, okay. 1, hunters. What the fuck? 2, Sigbear. Good. I got him right here. And he literally pulls a body bag over, unzips it, pulls the knife out. Says, "Get up, asshole." The previous Ventru Primogen sits up out of the bag with this defeated, crumpled posture. His dirty blonde hair, almost brown, very light brown, I should say, just kind of hangs in front of his face as he looks up. "What is it that you want?"
Hey, I heard you're Nazi. Is that true?
Oh dear God. Here we go.
I was not, nor am I now.
Boom!
Curtis steps in front of him. This is after Luke is punched. I'm gonna let this go down. After Luke punches him, Curtis walks over, says, "You get one freebie.
That's the one I wanted.
Good. Keep it in your pants now. Adolf,
Done.
stand up." Getting out of his...
I step aside and motion to Delia. He's all yours.
He stands up and he kind of tries to adjust whatever the costume that he's still forced to be in. So it's Alphonse.
Mm.
But what is it? Is it? I am not, nor ever have I been part of the Nazi party. It just so happens that maybe I had investments in that current situation. Years.
Well, glad I wasn't working for an actual Nazi, but I don't think you're much better.
Listen, I'm like 2 steps away from asking if we all get one.
By the binding that is my service to Victoria, I request that whatever it is that you need of me, you answer quickly.
What were you doing with Lucas at Steinhertz? Was the mission statement of that bank?
It was a vault.
Yeah.
We were collecting samples of as many people as we could.
How? What was your procurement method?
Also, why?
Yeah.
Lucas was very disturbed by the events in Austria. He was seeking a way to reestablish
I've read.
the link. So, we enlisted the... He looks over at Curtis. He says, nah, I still have you. You have to answer. I'm in charge right now. You're on loan. I paid good for this. Answer. He looks back. We enlisted the help of very industrious judges to acquire samples for us.
I saw them on premise. That lines up.
We had quite a variety. Nationwide. Intercontinental. He looks at Curtis. Curtis says, okay. That help?
Did you ever take from employees?
You would not have known if we had.
Do you have the master list still? Of
That
who you
wasn't
had?
an answer.
That's true. You didn't answer her.
Yes. We cataloged all who worked for us as well.
That explains why they could track you, Danny. Do you have a list still of what was in that vault? Whose samples you had?
No,
No backups?
that was lost when certain events took place. We did our best to destroy as much as we could, but it wasn't as though they gave us much time. I was unaware that they had such knowledge of New York's subterranean tunnels.
The judges that you enlisted to help you, are they the sort that would still help somebody else with this work?
I doubt. If what you're saying about hunters is true, they would not have been helping them.
They're tracking Kindred, and I'm tracking them.
They?
Any information? I'm not answering your questions. God, this is weird to say to my ex-boss. Nice to finally meet you. By the way, you look good in that.
What, his own blood?
Yes,
I was thinking about the body bag.
that too. Listen, do you know of anybody who worked for Steinhardt's that would then work for the Inquisition?
No. We were very, very careful. But the purchase happened very swiftly, and we were not able to extract what we wanted from the Blood Vault site.
What is it you wanted?
We wanted the blood back.
What were you going to do with it?
Either destroy it or continue Lucas's work.
Can you provide a list of names of who was going to assist you with continuing Lucas's work?
I was going to have Lucas help me.
Oops.
You don't know. But I suppose.
Jillian
Fine.
kind of looks nervously over to Curtis, like,
Curtis is just like, "Eh." All right, maybe I have a little bit of a confession to make.
oh my god, what?
Delia, it's time you knew. That's another trope I always liked. I always wanted to do that.
I know
one,
how
too.
where
I
babies
just-
come from,
it's-
Curtis. I'm a doctor.
All right.
I'm a doctor.
I beat them into torpor. I currently have the... Oh my god!
Can't see what happened.
Dreamwalker just... normally I don't fucking say anything, but Dreamwalker just donated $200.
Oh my goodness.
I know you're going through hard
Ooh,
times right now.
thank
Thank you for
you.
being awesome.
Oh.
We will be giving news updates on things soon, but some of you are very
Privy.
and observant, so thank you, Dreamwalker. Holy shit. What was I saying?
Torpor.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of maybe didn't kill, final death them. I maybe beat them all into torpor and then have been slowly raising them and blood bonding them to me and then putting them back into torpor. So I have assets left over.
Oh
In
god,
case
assets.
I need it.
You just used that word.
What?
You just said the word asset.
Yeah, it's an industry term.
Yeah.
Assets, it means people. It means people that do things for you.
You don't think that's what they need, right? Do they want their old employees back? Or potential employees? I don't know.
What are you talking about?
You don't blackmail someone without wanting something. They want assets back. We don't know what assets they're talking about.
I want assets back.
Charlie takes out the last text, the 1 hour assets or ashes, and just like shows Curtis.
Oh! He takes a look. Oh, that explains that.
Could you share it with the class? Because we're kind of...
Please?
He looks at Charlie first. Okay. Hands that. Says, 1 second though. You know what to do. He turns to Sigbear, who I could just leave. He says, yeah, but this is more fun. Lie down. He lies down and Curtis walks over to a desk, pulls a rusty railway spike out, walks over and plants it into Sigbear's chest. And then zips the body back.
That was satisfying to watch. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you, too. I'd send him FedEx, but I don't think they'd accept it. So, Victoria will have to pick him up. Okay. So now that he's not listening, and since we're all good friends here, here's the deal. I got a message recently requesting that we make our assets available for use. Otherwise, there would be a reckoning.
Our blood, maybe?
No. The message, the communication wasn't great. They were really cryptic. I know what they were going for. They used language to imply that we would be mobilized against choice individuals. Somebody wants to use us. Now, I use the term us. I mean collectively. I mean, they want the kindred of New York.
Is that why they're tracking us?
They're
We're
tracking
trying
us
to.
because they can. I don't know how. Obviously, they've shown that they have information. So more information is just going to get released if we don't follow along. Or worse yet, things are going to start happening. I don't know who the lovely family was, or... Charlie, was that like your mom or something?
She just nods.
Mm.
Mouth is like real tight.
Just probably tight like an oyster back in the day. Yeah, anyway.
My,
Charlie, do you want me to hit him? Do you want to hit him?
I just
Uh,
want to keep my mom safe.
I can't say anything to either of those. But I know that more information is going to get leaked. Thankfully, it's an unlisted thing, which is making me think this might not be whoever's in charge of it.
a side wing from within the order.
Maybe. I mean, why would they fuck with us like that? Why would they put us to work? They want us dead.
Unless there's a bigger problem.
I'm still not understanding the point of blackmailing the people that chose to blackmail.
What? Like, they've got more. This was a show of force.
That's why they want everyone scared, right?
This is the fucking appetizer. They kept
We
the
still
important
have
people
something-
off the list. No offense. They kept the important people off the first drop because they want to make sure they still got something in the tank. Blackmail's only as good as if it's key and kept secret.
Yeah, I should really remind Fox about that.
And if you have something to lose.
Yes.
Yeah. So this was just the display. I don't know who it is. I don't know what else, who's doing it. But I don't think, I don't know.
I got 4 more locations to take down,
Go
and then I
forward.
can find
What?
out.
What are you talking about?
I'm tracking them back. They fucked with me. I'm tracking them.
Oh, you can backtrace them?
That's
I've
what I'm
been saying
trying to
all day.
do. I took down one rogue. It was kind of like something blocking my way. I took down 1, 4 more.
We kept getting bounced
Then I'll be
around.
able to figure it out.
We kept getting bounced around. I couldn't put a finger on it over the past two weeks.
Danny was able
One
to
was
find
here.
the satellite right away.
Yeah, we found the satellite too. It's been bouncing about after that. All right. Okay. I'll look into more on what I have on my end. All right? The last thing we need is all of the information in the city getting out. My name's not going to be on that fucking list. I know. But I have too many assets here that I don't want burned. I'm only as useful as I have assets to use. So, get out into the city. See what you can do about that shit. And we'll take it from there.
What about that guy on ice that worked with Sigbear?
Guy on ice. Oh, Lucas? Oh, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
got him in a truck.
Anyway, we could arrange to talk to him.
Take a while to pull him out. We're also going to need, fresh. I don't know. It's a cycling thing. I keep them moving throughout the city. It's like a shipping company that never stops.
I would love to pick his brain and have him for my work, but I'll figure it out without him. I don't think he would ever help us anyway.
All right. You do what you have to do. I'm gonna pull some strings over here. Maybe there's something we couldn't get past the satellite bouncing. Maybe there's something about the satellites I can figure out.
Danny, tell us where we need to go.
Well, for the next one, after I took down the one, there's only 4 left. Do I
Yep.
have locations for them?
Yep.
And you already gave some to Clay.
Well, no, I have to send them into Clay. Clay's
Okay.
currently gone trying to get a head start.
Clay is currently headed to the furthest one that you sent him. Because he's quicker than most. He's currently
Sounds
headed
good.
up to Harlem.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Martin. That is a trick. Okay.
And as you start thinking about the vastness of what's in front of you, and maybe start to plan as how you're going to take care of this once you have the information, we're going to call it for tonight's show.
Mm-mm. No.
No?
No. We're not going to do that.
Connery!
That's not an acceptable response to the situation.
No.
Could someone...
So,
So,
my
enjoy.
favorite part of tonight's episode hadn't happened yet. 15 minutes cross town is a fucking record. And Martin nearly beat that. Up in Harlem, a kind of young kid sitting on a stoop, playing on his phone. Has his phone ripped from his hands, crushed on the ground in front of him. As Martin looks at the kid and says, "You dropped that," before booking his way out. Kid looks down and goes, "Ah, shit." In a dark room, several monitors, a shadowy figure sits in front of them. Cathode glow washing over him. As Simon says, "Oh no. I guess that's one. Whatever will I do?" And that brings everything to a close. I have been Conry from out there in Ohio land.
I couldn't find my mute button. Zed.
From the northern parts of our great-ish state.
Dara!
From the northern parts of our house.
From the northern part of my house.
Hi, cake.
From the depths
Birthday
below
cake.
in front of me.
Cassandra Lee.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Until we see you again, remember to always stay evil. Good night, everybody.